Hey there, growth snack enthusiasts, and welcome back.
Great to be here.
Today, we're tackling a book that definitely stands out. It's Mark Manson's The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Feck.
Yeah, it's not your usual dose of just be positive, is it?
Not at all. If you're maybe a bit tired of that constant pressure for positivity, this book gives you a really different way to think about living a good life.
That's right. It kind of pushes back against the affirmations will solve everything idea, makes you really consider what actually deserves your focus, your energy.
Exactly. So we're going to pull out some of maybe the most surprising ideas from the book, those insights that can help you get clearer on what truly matters.
And, just as crucial, what maybe doesn't.
Right. So our mission for this growth snack, distill those key ideas, give you some clarity, hopefully without making your head spin.
Okay, so where do we start? Maybe with that epitaph, Bukowski's.
Oh, yeah. Don't try. It's written right there on his tombstone.
Yeah.
Which, for a successful writer, feels odd. Paradoxical.
It really does. But the book argues his success didn't come from, forcing it or striving to be something he wasn't.
Mm-hmm. It came more from just accepting himself, flaws and all, being brutally honest about it.
Exactly. He wasn't trying to pretend. And that connects directly to this modern thing, doesn't it? This obsession with needing more, achieving more, caring about everything.
Oh, totally. The latest trends, the perfect Instagram feed, looking like you have it all together.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's exhausting. And the book has this great term for the cycle it creates. The feedback loop from hell.
Right, where you feel anxious, and then you start feeling anxious because you're anxious.
Or mad about being mad. It just feeds itself.
Yeah, it spirals.
Yeah.
And this is where the core idea, not giving a fuck, actually comes in as a solution.
But it's crucial to get this right. It's not about apathy. It's not don't care about anything.
No, definitely not. It's more selective. It's about choosing what's worth caring about, based on your own values.
Precisely. That's the subtle art part. It's about focusing your thoughts, prioritizing your mental energy effectively.
The book uses that example, remember? The old lady in the supermarket.
Ah, yes. Having a total meltdown over, a 30-cent coupon.
Yeah. And the point isn't to judge her, but to realize that maybe, for her, that's all she has to give a fuck about right now. It has disproportionate weight in her world.
Right. And the book suggests that maturity, growing up, involves getting better at choosing, becoming more selective about what gets your energy.
Which ties into another big idea. Happiness isn't about not having problems.
No, that's a fantasy. Happiness, the book argues, actually comes from solving problems, dealing with them.
They even have that character, Disappointment Panda.
Ha! Yes, the panda who just shows up to deliver harsh truths, like, you're going to have problems, deal with it.
It's a funny metaphor, but it makes the point right. We need to accept those uncomfortable realities. Problems are necessary for growth.
And those negative emotions we try so hard to avoid, anger, sadness, anxiety, they're not bad inherently. They're signals.
Like little alarms telling you something's off, something needs attention.
Exactly. Calls to action. Unresolved problems.
Okay, so if happiness involves struggle, then you need to pick your struggles carefully.
Choose what you're willing to suffer for, essentially. What pain you're willing to sustain.
This bit really hit home for me. I always had this dream of being a rock star. Loved the idea of it.
The image, the outcome.
Yeah, the stage, the lights. But did I love the endless hours of practice? The hauling gear, the rejections? Not so much.
Right. You loved the result, not the process. And the book says who you are is defined by the struggles you are willing to endure.
Makes sense. And it contrasts that with entitlement, right? Feeling like you deserve great things without the struggle.
Versus genuine self-worth, which is more about knowing your flaws but working on them anyway, being okay with the negative parts.
That story about Jimmy, the delusional startup founder, was pretty telling. All this high self-esteem, but not really backed by, doing the work.
Leads to a weird reality distortion field sometimes, which brings us neatly to taking responsibility.
Yeah. This is a big one. Differentiating responsibility from fault.
Crucial distinction. You might not be at fault for something bad happening, like, say, a car accident someone else caused.
Right. Not your fault.
But you are still responsible for how you react to it, your feelings, your choices moving forward. That's on you.
I had to really sit with that one. After a bad breakup years ago, my first instinct was just blame her for everything.
Totally understandable reaction.
Yeah. But eventually I realized, okay, maybe she did things that were hurtful, but my happiness, my getting over it, dealing with my own stuff in the relationship, that was my responsibility.
Exactly. You always get to choose how you frame things, the metrics you use, like the book's example about your relationship with your brother.
Oh, right, measuring it just by how often you talk. That might be a terrible metric for the actual quality of the bond.
It could be. And think about Dave Mustaine from Megadeth apparently always measuring himself against Metallica. That metric probably didn't lead to much peace.
Compared to Pete Best, the original Beatles drummer. Kicked out, yeah, but he shifted his values. Found happiness in family, a different kind of life.
He chose better metrics, better values for him. And the book argues that choosing better values leads to better problems, which ultimately means a better life.
That's about the quality of your problems, in a way.
Yeah, exactly. The book also touches on saying no, setting boundaries.
Super important for healthy relationships. Not like Romeo and Juliet.
Huh. Yeah, the book uses them as an example of maybe unhealthy, overly dramatic ideals.
A bit. Healthy love needs mutual responsibility. Being able to handle rejection, say no sometimes.
And it mentions the paradox of choice, too. How having too many options can actually make us less satisfied.
It feels counterintuitive, but maybe there's freedom and commitment. Choosing a few things and going deep, instead of staying shallow with everything.
Rejecting breadth for depth, yeah. It can be liberating.
And then the book gets pretty deep. Towards the end, it talks about death.
Yeah, using the really moving story of your friend Josh's accidental death.
That part was, yeah. It led to this realization that if death is inevitable, what's the point of being ruled by fear or embarrassment or avoiding discomfort?
Avoiding discomfort is kind of avoiding life, in a way.
And it brings in Ernest Becker's idea of death terror, this underlying anxiety about mortality.
And how we build up this conceptual self, these immortality projects, our values, achievements, partly to cope with that fear, to feel like we leave something lasting.
But the book flips it. It suggests that actually accepting our mortality, really facing it, can free us.
Free us to choose our values more honestly, live more authentically.
Yeah, without that weird subconscious pressure to achieve immortality.
So ultimately, greatness isn't about some external scoreboard. It's about the constant moment-to-moment choice of what you give a fuck about.
Especially knowing that life is uncertain and it ends.
That's the core of it.
So wrapping up Mark Manson's The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Feck, the big message is really about being intentional. Choose your fucks wisely.
Direct your energy where it counts for you, based on your values, to build a life that feels meaningful.
And that invites some reflection, doesn't it?
Yeah.
For you listening, what are you maybe giving too many fucks about right now?
And maybe what deserves more of your attention, what truly aligns with who you want to be.
Yeah. So here's a final thought to leave you with. Is there one thing, just one, you could decide to consciously stop trying to care so much about starting today?
What could you let go of to make space for something better?
Definitely something to think about. Thanks for tuning in to this Growth Snack.
Yeah, thanks everyone. And if this sparked your interest, definitely check out the full book by Mark Manson.